Hey everyone, this is the Geeky here, Brendan guys. Another one of my videos now. Over almost a year ago, actually, I made a video about Operation Harsh Doorstop, and some things about the video I like. Some other things about the game I didn't like too much that could be worked on. Now, when people watched it, they were divided. Some agreed with me, others disagreed with me, saying, "Hey, it's a free-to-play game. We shouldn't have that high expectations and all that danny stuff." But overall, I want to say that Blue Drake actually watched my video. He commented on it and said, he's going to take in all the feedback. So, first off, I want to say much respect for that. He's taking all that feedback at least and just seeing how they could improve the game. So now, the game is actually going to be coming out in early access on February 15th with a full-on Steam Workshop support. So yes, you can expect mods out there. So I figured, hey, let's check the game out. There's been a couple of updates, from then until now. And so the build right now is what I experience right now. There is going to be an update when the game does go into early access on February 15th. Some things in the video that they've already addressed, other things, eventually on down the line, or, seeing how they can introduce it. Now, I was really lucky because in this video I was actually playing a live multiplayer match with a decent amount of players this time, so I figured, hey, let's do this. It's first off, I'm going to put down the things that I've noticed and the things I like to see happen and my opinions, and then I'll just have the, the gameplay video remainder, just so you can watch it. So, with that, let's begin. Alright, first and foremost, the gunplay is actually pretty good. I do like how the weapon handles and feels when firing, but the sounds, the weapon sounds and all that dandy stuff, it still needs to be worked on. I know Blue Drake confirmed that, yeah, the sound does need to be worked on. He's actually made a video, I think a month ago, asking that, he does need help on this, seeing if anyone can help him out there. So I know this problem won't be fixed immediately, but it's something that they will work on, hopefully update with better weapon sounds. Now, the medical system right now that they have is very, very bare bones, but they are planning to overhaul it. So there is a bug with the bandages, with like a reload thing, but it should be fixed by early access release. So in the video, you see that I was hurt, and then you see take my bandage out trying to heal myself, and nothing happened. So because there was a bug. And another thing I noticed is when you're a medic, you cannot see if your teammates are hurt at all. And when you're healing someone, there's no animation about it, or like of you actively healing. There's no heads up on the UI saying that you're healing them, and vice versa with the player. It doesn't really happen until it does. If that's kind of like the best way to explain it. So I know it's going to get overhauled, which I can't wait, but it's just right now it's very, very bare bones. From what I understand, they plan to overhaul it something similar to Squad, where it's a little in-depth, but not like really in-depth if it's on the scale of like Arma 3 with mods behind it. But since there's going to be mod support, you can have it too if you really want to. So one big issue that I kind of noticed is when playing this game in this map, in particular, it could be for other maps as well, is there was no main spawn protection. Like, now in the game, there are capture points that you can capture and all that stuff. And, and people camping them if you spawn in, like, hey, that's one thing. But when it comes to the main base, like, I can see people outside the base camping it, the areas of entrances and exits of the base. But when you have an enemy player that's actually inside the base fucking everyone up only a few meters away, I have issues with. Like, there should be some sort of system in there that has, like, a main base spawn protection, whether the enemy cannot go near it, or or something, anything for that matter. Like, the enemy was able to walk up into the base and just camp us for a little bit a couple of times. So I feel like it's going to be very frustrating for players out there to deal with. I know that they're going to look into things and seeing how to work out map layout wise too, but I'm just wondering if this is going to be more enforced wise via the server admins, or if, the developers of the game will actually put, like, a main base spawn protection in there somewhere, Like, again, it's one thing to be outside the base, main base, camping it. It's another thing being inside it, fucking us up 6 ways to Sunday. Now, switching your fire select system, there really wasn't an animation or, sound confirming that you switched it. Sometimes, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, hey, I switched it. Nah, I'm still on semi-auto, because when you spawn in, it's always going to be on semi-auto, basically, so having something like an audio or more of a visual cue to say, hey, I select a different fire method would be nice. Name tags, yes, name tags in this build doesn't exist. So there was a lot of blue on blue, but luckily friendly fire was disabled, thank God. But in the February 15th update, the name tags will come back in. The vaulting also seems to be a little weird. Like, it'll take time to vault over an object, and it kind of seems like you're vaulting over the object, but kind of in the object. And because it takes time, you're really, really exposed. And there were times where I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to run around the wall. And then there were some areas where you thought you could vault over, but you really can't. So, yeah. Also, being prone kind of felt like you were on ice. Like, when moving around, there was no, like, animation of you crawling and stuff like that. You were just holding your weapon, moving around like you were literally on ice. You also couldn't lean left or right, which I really did wish they had, because there was a situation where it's like, it would have been perfect, but yeah, it kind of just felt like you were on ice, basically. Also, there was no rally system for squad leaders. Now, there was one way back in the day, from what I understand, but as of right now, there's no rally system, so if it's like advanced and secure, you die, you gotta spawn in on the closest one, and it could be kind of far away. And if you spawn in, let's say, from main base and just run it all the way to get to the action and then die, well, rinse and repeat. Like, I do hope that we do get a rally system for squad leads, or something to kinda, be a hotfix, for us to use while it comes out. But overall, though, I did have some decent amount of fun with this build. It's just, it's not something I would consistently play if because again, it's going into early access, and it's got a few things to offer, different eras, different maps, whatever. But it's just, that's really it. There's overall, the graphics does look nice for a free-to-play title. I will agree with that, definitely. Being able to play in different eras is also really cool. Having bots, yes, they can be a little dumb, but having bots as an option and then mix and matching different eras, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can kind of see it. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, it is going to be an early access game, so you got to understand there's a lot of stuff out there that they want to add in, but they're actively working on, and it's going to take time. Like on Discord, which is a really good place for a one-stop shop, actually, they do have a roadmap, a list of things they want to do, including stuff like a construction system similar to Squad or Project Reality, destruction, vehicles, and more, but it takes time, Don't expect it to be, a final full product in the beginning. Also, as such, with the mod support, yeah, mods will take time as well. So, when people say, oh, it's going to be the best game ever when it comes out, I'm like, it's coming out bare bones. Calm the fuck down here. There needs to be stuff on its bones, essentially, I understand it's going to take time. Like Squad, it took time from it when its initial release to now to get everything included. Like, I remember when the tank was added, it was a big fucking moment for us. Like, holy shit, the tank is added, helicopters and all that stuff. We were like, oh my god, So I can imagine the same thing happening to Operation Harsh Doorstop. But overall, not bad. It's just there's a few things I like to see getting worked on, and I'm just kind of curious to see how it'll end up as well, because, again, it's free. I understand it. I get it. You can't complain if a product is free. But if there's not a lot going on for the product, people will get bored. So, I'll probably play it here and there, but I'll probably come back to it when there's several other updates or something significant that happens to it, So, overall, though, that's going to be it for today's video. I want to say a huge thanks to the community manager out there for giving me a heads up. Gooms? Oh, Gooms. I'm sorry. He was telling me about the game and all that dandy stuff, which really helped out a lot making this video. Now, I just, overall, I'm kind of curious to see how this game will turn out. So, I'm a very patient person, and I know you'll see me play it here and there, but, I'm just waiting for, the more meat on the bones type thing. So, overall, thank you guys for coming in today. Post down in the comment box of your opinions on this game. Have you played it? Were you in the playtest, or are you excited for it to come out on February 15th? So overall, post it right down there. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. That really does help out a lot. I do have a Discord, and feel free to join. And I stream weekly. This is Geeky Panda here. I'm out. Stay geeky, my friends.